So let's just remind ourselves of our basic Back to Beauty setup. We've got the V-Ray lighting, the V-Ray global illumination, plus the V-Ray reflection, the V-Ray refraction, the specular, the SSS, the self-illumination, caustics, the atmosphere and a background, and that will equal our beauty. So we open our render settings and we go to the last tab, the second to last tab, render elements. Now obviously we're going to do our basic Back to Beauty. These are in alphabetical order, so I'm going to start with my atmospheric effects, so it's not the first on our list. And I can use this add tab. I can also double click, which is going to be easier with the screen capture. Now it gives it this funky name, which I don't like, so what I'm going to do is delete the beginning bit in the text. This is going to be important and I'll show you why in a moment. So I'm going to do the same with the background. Now actually there is no background, but I'm putting it in for the sake of argument. Caustics, again, I've actually got caustics switched off, so that will be blank, but I wanted to have it there. And we are going to get our lighting. Again, I don't want to call it, that's that funky bit at the beginning actually stands for V-Ray render element, but it's much easier to just keep it the basic name, GI. And let's go for our reflections. So there we are. And refraction, SSS, obviously we've got our plant, which has got subsurface scatter, and self-illumination. In this case, with the bulb covered by the lampshade, we won't be seeing the self-illumination, but in the version with the light bulb exposed, we do. And of course we need our specular. Now if we want to keep that, we can save it. We can do save settings as a preset. Now this will actually save all our render settings, not just the passes themselves, but we can call it basic Back to Beauty test. So it's test res. And obviously when we do production res, we'll do a version with our production resolution. And here we are using the get name from node. So because we've tidied these names up here, we're going to have those same names on the passes. So we're going to have nice tidy names. So it's important that these names are consistent. If you update them and each time you update them they're named differently, your compositors will go crazy. Or if you're compositing it, you will go crazy. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to hit render again. Again, my frame buffer opens very briefly and our full frame buffer opens. That's our last render. That's going to disappear and we'll see our light cache. Already in this drop down it's populated with all of the passes that we've created. So I pause just to give the render a little bit of a head start. So even though the render is not complete, we can already start to see what the individual elements are doing. This is very handy for troubleshooting, because if you don't like the effect of the caustics, you can start seeing that before you've even waited for the render to complete. So here we have our lighting pass, our GI, our reflection. Now they don't all complete at the same rate, but that's just how it is. The SSS, self-illumination and the specular. So we can go back to our RGB. And there we have a basic Back to Beauty render ready to submit to our compositing application.